Welcome to Let's Talk with Tara, the space where real life meets real answers. I am Dr. Tara T. Stallings, counselor and coach, here to help you navigate life's toughest challenges. Together, we'll explore psychological insights, emotional healing, relational growth, and biblical truths to empower your journey. So grab a seat, lean in, and let's have the conversations that matter the most. Welcome, you guys. Today we're talking about overcoming people-pleasing personality, the people-pleasing personality, setting boundaries without guilt. Do you say yes out loud when you are screaming no on the inside? So I want to start with understanding the root of people-pleasing. The root of people-pleasing, it is not kindness, it is fear in disguise. Rooted in the fear of rejection, the desire for love, or fear of conflict. It's rooted in rejection, a desire to be loved, or a fear of conflict. Common among those raised to earn love through their behavior. And this happens so often. You feel loved by what you do. Now, let me be clear. When we talk about this people-pleasing personality. Now, there are love languages where people do acts of kindness as their love language. They like to do for people acts of kindness. That's how they express their love. This is totally different from the people-pleasing personality. Totally different. It's people-pleasing is based and rooted in rejection and fear. These are some of the red flags for a person that you see that struggles with people-pleasing. Over committing, avoiding conflict, hiding their true feelings, or feeling responsible for others' emotions. Let me say this again. Over committing, avoiding conflict, hiding true emotions, feeling responsible for others' emotions. These are red flags. If you are fit in one or more of those categories, you may have a people-pleasing personality. People-pleasing is self-betrayal. I'm going to say that again. People-pleasing is self-betrayal. Every time you say yes to something you hate, you say no to your peace. I got to say that again. Every time you say yes to something that you really don't want to do, that you hate, you say no to your peace. Why do you feel like you have to say yes to something when it's going to disturb your peace? You're overcommitting. You don't have to be there. You're not God. If you don't do it, it either won't get done or they'll find somebody else to do it. People pleasing is self-betrayal. Repeated self-betrayal leads to resentment and burnout. Then you get mad because why is it that people always calling on me? I'm always having to do something. And then you burn out. Your anxiety level is high. No is a complete sentence. I tell people this all the time. No is a complete sentence. It's self-betrayal because you really don't want to do it. You feel obligated because you want to be loved. You want people. You want to show kindness. You want to be nice, But really, it's a fear. It's rooted in fear because you don't want to feel rejected or you don't want conflict. Boundaries are not rejection, they are protection. When you set boundaries, it's not rejection, it's protecting you. A boundary isn't a wall, it's a gate. It's a gate. Gates you can open, walls or you got to tear them down. It lets in healthy and it keeps out harmful. You know, a gate, it opens and closes. Jesus set boundaries. Why do you feel like it's difficult for you to set boundaries? Jesus even withdrew from the crowd to go pray. He set boundaries because everybody kept pulling on him. He had to get to himself to refocus. Refocus. So let's talk about um, some ways that people get into this people pleasing personality. Childhood conditioning and learn survival. Childhood conditioning and learn survival. Children naturally adapt to what's required for love and safety. If you learn early that affection, approval, or emotional peace only came when you pleased others, your nervous system adapted to equate pleasing with survival. Let me give you some examples. You're raised in a home where conflict was punished or unsafe. Parents were emotionally unavailable, critical, or had high demands. Praise was performance based. Be a good girl. Make mommy or daddy proud. The child became the fixer, listen, or the peacemaker in a dysfunctional family. I'm going to let that sit. Let it sit for a minute. So, why does this matter? It creates a belief: if I make people happy, then you're safe. If they're upset, I'm in danger or unloved. That's not a preference, it's a trauma informed pattern. That's trauma. Trauma informed pattern that you've learned. People pleasing. People pleasing. Here's a healthy tip: reflect. What did you have to do to feel loved as a child? What did you have to do? This is a healing tip. Ask yourself this question: what did you have to do to feel loved as a child if you're struggling with people pleasing? Let's go back to this fear of rejection or abandonment. Number 2, fear of rejection or abandonment. Many people pleasers carry a core fear of being left, unresolved, unloved or alone. They will sacrifice their truth, time, and emotional needs to keep others from walking away, even if those people are harmful or emotionally unavailable. What are some signs? Saying yes when they're exhausted, apologizing for things they didn't do, avoiding expressing needs or preference, staying in a one-sided or codependent relationship. How many of you guys do this? Or you know someone that does this? Rejection feels like confirmation for your deepest fears. I'm not enough. This is what happens. I'm not enough. If they reject me, then it's something wrong with me. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. You're not enough. So what are some tips for that? Some healing tips are to say out loud, my worth doesn't shrink when someone walks away. Your worth doesn't shrink when someone walks away. It doesn't. It does not. It does not. It does not. It does not. So let's talk about low or conditional self-worth. We talked about last We talked about, self-esteem, but all of this people pleasing goes back to that low self-esteem. When you don't see yourself as inherently worthy, you look for external approval to affirm your identity. Pleasing becomes a form of earning love, avoiding judgment, or feeling good enough. It's that you look for external approval. You don't approve yourself. This is your dialogue, internal dialogue that you say, well, if I say no, they may be mad with me. So let them be mad. No is a complete sentence. No, remember that. It's okay if they're mad. You get mad when people tell you no. It's okay. It's their prerogative, as Bobby Brown used to say. I don't want to disappoint them. So what's going to happen if you disappoint them? You can't control if they're going to be disappointed or not. Who will I be if I'm not the helper? Why do you need to play God? Why do you need to play God? Why do you need to be uh, the helper? Why do you need to be the one to save them? Why? 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 Why does it matter? Your identity gets wrapped up in what you do for others instead of who you are. Your identity get wrapped up in what you do for other people instead of who you are. That's self-identity. Being confident in your self-identity. So what are some healing tips? Practice internal affirmations over external validation. Keep telling yourself, I'm valuable. Even when I rest, you don't have to earn anything to belong. You don't have to earn people love. They either gonna love you or they're not. And it's okay if they don't. There's plenty of people that will. Enmeshment or lack of boundaries in early relationships. In enmeshment, families, personalities are often blurred. A parent might confide in a child emotionally, expect perfection, or punish individuality. I'm sorry. This could lead to an adult who fears boundaries because they were never taught it's okay to have them. How does this look in adulthood? Guilt when setting boundaries, confessing or confusing boundaries with selflessness. Selfishness, not selflessness, selfishness. They confuse setting boundaries with selfishness. I'm being selfish if I set boundaries. Difficulty knowing your own feelings apart from others. Yeah. Why does this matter? You learn early your role is to keep peace and meet needs, even if it hurts you. And you shouldn't not have to keep peace at the point of your discomfort, burnout. So let's rewire your worth. Rewire your worth. You are not more lovable because you say yes. They're not going to love you more. They're just going to call on you more because they know you're going to say yes. You are not less lovable when you say no. You're not. No is a complete sentence without an explanation. Real love respects your limits. When a person really cares and they love you, they're going to respect your limits. They are. They are going to respect your limits. They're going to respect your limits. If you are struggling with people pleasing today, I want you to listen again to this recording, this podcast. And I want you to identify yourself. And I want you to stop, breathe, and ask yourself, is this working for me? Why Did I have some childhood traumas, some trauma informed behaviors that made me feel like I have to do something to be loved? Or was I made not to feel love unless I was performing or doing? And if that's so, it's time for you to heal from that. It's time for you to heal from that. Galatians 1 and 10 says this: I am not trying to win. Well, it doesn't say this, but this is the info. I'm not trying to win the approval from man, but from God. Not from man, but from God. You're not called to be everybody's savior. You already have one. Listen, you guys, I know this podcast is short, but I really want this to sink in, and I'll see you guys next week when we talk about facing the fear of rejection. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk with Tara. If you found today's conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let's keep this dialogue going. Follow me on Let's Talk Tara for more insights and encouragement. Remember, every step forward starts with an honest conversation. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, and keep talking.